see, we are live. Aha, we are live. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to HoGa's Astrology. And here we are today. Again, we are HoGa. Yes, we are HoGa. We will be HoGaly soon, particularly as well once Lena's been able to sort out her stuff and everything like that. But as you know, we love doing a two-hander for you guys. And also as well, it gives us a little bit more time just to go into a little bit more depth into each question. I want to also as well say sorry guys for my slightly out of focus camera. Look, if I'm here, then it's a bit more focused. This is the camera that I dropped and it slightly went a bit dodgy. I bought a brand new camera and that one can't focus either. So out of the two, the old one still worked. It's just random. Of course, introducing Lady G, and of course we were together on Wednesday. And how do you feel about that reading that I did for your chart?
Oh, well, it was kind of, as you say, bang on. I couldn't argue with a thing. Everything in there was extremely accurate.
And there was some amazing feedback there as well. And also as well, when I mentioned to Lady G. Now, as we know, Lady G is a chameleon, a woman of many looks and guises. Yeah, so much so that when I was looking through the comments, you know, for questions, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but when I was looking through the comments, yeah, I saw someone that was, you know, Lady G tarot and spirituality and stuff like that. But I didn't recognize Lady G's picture. I thought she was a spam artist because, you know, there's so many cons going on right now. And I reported her for spam several times before I realized what I was doing. And didn't I? I left you a voicemail, didn't I? I was like,
he did. He messed up right away.
I was like, oh my God. I said, what have I done? So immediately I wrote to YouTube in the live chat and I said, look, this is a mistake. I've reported this woman for spam and goodness knows what. And it was an accident. So anyway, they said they would sort it out. But I mean, we're laughing at it now, but I felt mortified. But it's because I didn't recognize you, Lady G. You had the long wig on. Yes. And I was like, who's this woman? Who's this? And I was like, this person he doesn't even, you know, has the audacity to not even look like Lady G, and she's posting as if she's her. I didn't recognize. It's only when I really looked in, and then I was like, oh. And then I realized, oops. Anyway, so let's begin. So thank you everyone for joining us. So guys, we're going to do a combination of sort of like post midterms, sandwich with a bit of international. As you know, we like a bit of international here. And then we'll end up again with America as well. Lady G, before we begin, would you like just to mention for us and remind us about our reading about how the Democrats would do? You remember about the House and the Senate? And if you could just remind us what you said, and I'll see if I can remember what I did.
Yeah, when the reading that I got with it was the Republicans were going to be there with their club charging forward and this and that. We got it. And and the Democrats were going to be sitting there, you know, kind of drifting and waiting for the results to come in. And like I said, it's not over till it's over. Now, we had a number of people were jumping to conclusions and, oh my God, the red, you know, we're going to lose the Senate, we're losing the House. We're still not done. Okay, so yeah. chillax, you know, wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, when we do this kind of stuff, some people are better at remembering their cards than others. For me, like even when I do readings and stuff, like I always make notes on the back of my clients' charts, but my brain will wipe because you're just being the channel. But I do remember I got the 4 of Swords, which is, it can mean wounded in defeat, but it means laying back. Yeah. So in terms of like with the Democrats, it's almost like laying back and letting it kind of like flow and seeing what happens. If someone as well could let me know in the comments, because I'm trying to keep up here in the UK, and obviously I'm not in America. Has Arizona been declared for the Democrats, or is Kari Lake still in it, and is it still in the balance?
Part of it, the governor is Democratic. Kari Lake's is still, you know, it's still ongoing, but I still say she's going to lose.
Yeah, it
But
was quite interesting.
There's still more counting to be done.
Still more count, because when I saw, so that makes sense now. Okay, so it's the senator part of Arizona has been decided. Is that correct? Okay, but the governor part has been decided.
The governor part, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the other way around. Let us know in the comments. But basically,
anyway, one of them's done and one of them's still waiting.
Right, exactly. So the Kari Lake part is still there. Now it's interesting, isn't it? When I pulled the cards for Kari Lake, I think it was similar for you as well. But you remember I kept pulling the Four of Pentacles, which is holding on. And I said, there's something, she doesn't quite have it quite yet. Do you know what I mean? And it's, I mean, it's a knife edge. I mean, there's a cat's whisker in this, really. So we will have to see. Plenty of you in the comments, you're piling in, which is, oh yeah, someone's, oh Christ, I'm trying to keep up. Raising,
yeah,
okay.
Mark Kelly was called, okay, for Senate, and she is behind and sliding is what it says. Yeah, she's screaming so much, you know, but the ones that are leading and overseeing the election there are Republicans. And he has to keep coming out and explaining the system and what they're doing. And, you know, and she keeps wanting to say that, you know, that they're corrupt and yada, yada.
My goodness. Well, let's pull some cards. We are going to come back to the Arizona, or shall we? No, let's come back to the Arizona question, because it's still so much. Sorry guys, it's still so much in the balance. So the senator part is decided, the governor part. So we'll come back later, guys, to the Kari Lake thing, and we'll let the energy settle, and we'll get through the comments as well. First one here, this is coming from Mary Huddleston. And I think it's quite interesting. And what she says, she put in two questions, but we'll do the first one first. So she said, I've paraphrased here. Lindsey Graham looks drunk, frightened, and tearful. She was describing his endorsement for Herschel Walker, and she was saying he was looking very kind of out of it. So so the question here is sort of like, what's going on with him? Let's look at Lindsey Graham. So, I'll use my black and white cards. Sorry for this lack of focus here. Let me just put this. And while we're shuffling, let's see. Yeah, here we are. Senator has been decided. Excellent. And we know that is, that's very important. Lake is behind and sliding, but it's still very close. Yeah. Let's see who else. Senate. Yes, and people are saying Senate in Arizona is Mark Kelly still waiting for governor's race. The thing is with Kari Lake, she's such a dangerous candidate in the sense of, because she is intelligent. She is an intelligent person, and her tongue, as it were, is immensely sort of persuasive. I even almost had to turn her off a little bit, because I'm like, oh my God, she's got that brainwashing power. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think she was. Wasn't she a working with news or something like that? She's known. She's been in front of the TV audience for some time.
Oh, yeah, she's very, very smooth, and she definitely has that bit of seduction in her voice. I'm not bigging her up, guys. Look, understand, I'm British and I'm just observing. I don't know these people so well, so maybe I get a slightly different impression, but with her voice, she is so smooth. Do you know what I mean? As that newscaster, very, very smooth. All right, shall I go first then on Lindsey Graham? Let me just, no problem. Let's just have a tug and see what's going on. Oh, what am I doing here? Mark Kelly won. Yes, Mark Kelly won. We know. Thank you. Yeah. All right, let's pull here. All right, so now we're talking about Lindsey Graham. What's going on with Lindsey Graham? We'll just move my image back, put the camera down, and just Lindsey Graham. Oh, I even feel a bit of anxiety, actually, even just pulling for him. My goodness, I think he's in a mess. Let's just see what comes up. Let's see what the old cardies have. Oh, reversal straight away. Oh, dear. All right. You could just see that as a flash. All right, Lindsey Graham. There we are. What do I get? First card. 3 of Cups. Reversed. Long and short of this, party's over. The party is over. This doesn't even take any more sophisticated interpretation than that. When it's the right way up, it's party. This is reverse. Party's over, dude. What's this obstacle? Kaboom, the tower. Because obviously the GOP have not done nearly as well as they were planning. Now, some people got, let's just say some were slightly over optimistic, shall we say, about how the Democrats would do. I think that's fair to say. I don't want to, you know, let's just put it that way. But it was not a red tsunami either, not even close. So the
I called it kind of the red algae.
Perfect. So really and truly, though, especially for Duck Larange, but this is really bad for Lindsey Graham, yeah? Because if he was hoping for all of those MAGA-esque candidates to get through, a lot of them fell by the wayside. So he is worried, yeah? It's not been a good night, a good couple of days for the Democrats. Not the GOP. Look at the next card. Again, very clear, very easy to understand. The Fool can mean many things, fresh new starts and stuff like that, or it can literally mean the Fool. He's been an imbecile. Wasn't it he the one that warned, if we go with Trump, we're going to be ruined and we deserve everything we get? I think words to those effect. Wasn't that correct, Lady G? I'm sure it's something like that. Right. Look up, the next card is death. Yeah. We know this isn't necessarily a literal death, but this is definitely a metaphysical one. And I think this is really actually the death of the whole MAGA cult and everything like that. Now, even Fox News are actually coming out and condemning Trump. And did you see on front of the New Yorker, they had Duck Larange as Humpty Dumpty?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that because we've got a Murdoch question coming up. And then the outcome, if we look here, really is, look, this is the card of wealth, security, financial independence, affluence, and all of that. But we have to look at it next to this card. So it suggests, could that be the death of his security, his affluence? I think it's also, again, speaking about the GOP. I think it's also kind of letting them know that I think they're going to struggle for going forward, particularly as Biden's agenda unfolds, to keep raising money and keep people in their pockets. I think Lindsey is very worried, and he's going to be having some kind of big transformation. These are big cards. Look at this. He's got, out of 5 cards, he's got 3 major arcana all next to each other. Tower, Fool, and Death. Wow. What do you have, Lady G?
Well, at the center of it, we know that he grabbed onto whom? 45, the merchant, you know. That was his intuition that he's the big daddy. He was with McCain before, and then when McCain died, he had to latch on some new daddy, and he thought this was going to serve him well. But I don't think his intuition was so good, because we have, going into it, he was gambling with that.
Wow.
And now he's going to have to take a breath, because what's coming in rapidly is he is in the fire and really having to dig deep the well to get what he wants, because he is in the midst of this struggle and this fight. I can feel him in quicksand, and he is like down to here. And underneath of it, we have, let me get over here the right way.
The Empress.
We have America listening. This is coming to an end of this regime, the nonsense with the MAGA crowd and the things that they've been doing. Not happy with this. They're going to be retired. Of course, they're going to do what they can to try to get away with something, but there's going to be healing and stuff that needs to come out, and some strong new information.
Wow. 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 Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And someone is saying here, Greg stole the Senate seat. So this probably is in reference to Texas, I imagine, and Greg Abbott. So again, for entertainment purposes only, we have to see. One thing, what I found interesting, do you remember I said there'd be lots of lying and cheating and this kind of thing? And it was interesting because of the eclipse. Uranus and Rahu. Rahu represents lying, but it seems it was the lying was in the polls. The polls were lying because they were being stacked, weren't they, for the GOP? And that's what they were like, it's tsunami. But it wasn't true.
One thing they did do, I forget which state it is, somebody out there will know, that if the envelope that was putting in the vote did not have the date on the outside, they had them to throw it away. They had them discount those votes.
Wow.
So I don't know. Somebody I'm sure will know what state that was. So yeah, they're still trying to find a loophole to again mitigate votes.
Yeah, indeed. Someone's saying Barb's Wheel of Fortune. I saw pictures of Trump with his daughter who is getting married. It doesn't look like Trump standing. What can I say?
His other daughter is trying to get out of the thing. Look, I left the Trump organization 5 years ago. Well, this is going back 10 years. So you're going to ruin my reputation if you keep dragging me into this.
Wow, indeed. And Kia Oiki, thank you so much for your donation. One thing I do want to say before we move on, I have noticed there are quite a lot of channels that are entertaining these ideas of stand-ins and stuff like that. Just be careful, folks.
Yeah.
Just be careful, because a lot of that is also used on the GOP cray-cray side as well. It is listen, if there is one person that is almost impossible to impersonate, it's Donald Trump. Let's just put it that way, because he has such an energy, such a style, so distinctive. I'll just say, I don't want to criticize. I just want to say, be careful when we start doing things like that. It's a little bit out there. Anyway, right. Are you ready for the next question? Let me get my phone open. It went back to sleep. So here we are. 1 second. Get rid of that. So let's go to question number 2. Right, here we are. Ukraine. So Kherson victory. So the Ukrainians have managed to recapture Kherson and they're celebrating in the streets. Russian army retreats. Another Putin fail. How would this play out for Putin? How about that? Just click on that again. What's going on here? And let's see. Someone's saying here Lake is going to lose. We have to see. I hope she does, but oh God, she's very, she's got that kind of serpent energy, that kind of, Russia, Putin. How's this going to play out for Putin? Let's have a look. How's this going to play out for Putin? Let's bring the camera back down again. Let's see what he gets. Typical. Right, I'll go again. I'll go again. I really like hearing your readings as well. Okay, Putinesca, yeah. Look at the card that symbolizes him. Look, we've got the Empress here. Now, do you remember how I'd laugh and joke a little bit because he talks about Peter the Great, but really I think he feels like he's Catherine the Great, yeah? So here we are, there's the Empress. But the Empress for me has always been my Russia card. Yes, it can represent America, but for me, it's always been Russia card. So you can see here, look, Spirit is listening. This is Putinshka, yeah? Putinshka sitting there on his throne thinking what to do. But look at the obstacle position. 4 of Swords, which can mean what? Wounded in defeat, yeah. But what was the question about? He has had to what? Retreat from Curzon. Sorry, forgive me if I pronounced that wrong, but I think it's Curzon. But isn't it interesting that he should get the 4 of Swords, which literally is the card of retreat, drawing back, kind of reflecting, meditating, trying to figure something out. As Lena would say, the stained glass window there can also speak about a puzzle to be solved. Yeah. What is he reflecting on? Look at this. 5 of Swords, his abuse of power, the invasion of Ukraine in of itself. As you know, often, guys, I say with this card, often the question can be, was it worth it? Yeah. So here we have Putinshka sitting there on the throne, having to retreat from battle, wondering, oh my God, was it all worth it? Look at the next card, the Devil. Yeah, did it for the wrong reasons, was chained to these bonkers ideas. He thought that it could happen just in a couple of days, but who is Putin beholden to? We know that he's a dark entity, but this would suggest as well he's also chained to other dark entities, dark thoughts, feelings, and approaches. But his outcome card is the 3 of Pentacles. So this suggests as well that he's trying to strategize. I think he's looking for people to strategize and collaborate with, but these are kind of dark forces. It may be as well that he may be finding it difficult to strategize with others because everyone has seen this devil now close up. Do you know what I mean? Everyone has seen the abuse of power. Everyone has also seen that the GOP has not done as well as expected, which is also part of the calculation. So I think Putinshka is having to reconsider a lot of things. What do you have, Lady G?
Well, at the center of it, we have, of course, the card of the narcissist, and blind to the direction of things that are going. He knows better than anyone, like 45 knows more than the generals, okay? Same thing. But going into it, we have there's been good luck, and judgment is coming down on him as a leader, being able to control. The other side of it, we have these deaths that are happening. And so the people of Ukraine are, happy going by the book, continuing forward. Now, underneath of it all, when we look at, we have Russia, we have him, and the balance is being cut for that. Then going forward, we have still the struggle. He's trying to figure out what to do. He feels more and more isolated as it goes, more in the dark, trying to keep his emotions under control because it's the Pandora's box when he does that, trying to figure out a long range goal. But what is happening rapidly is more, they keep standing up for more truth, more pushing. He's having sleepless nights. And then moving forward again, the hidden things and the karma is coming. So he's in confusion, feeling more and more isolated, trying to figure out how to go forward. Of course, he doesn't listen to anybody, and the balance of power is getting cut. So it is not boding well for.
Wow. And as you guys know, I've been saying for ages, because obviously I've looked at Putin's charts. So if anyone's curious, just look back in some of my playlists. And I said November in particular, I said when it goes into fall, but I said November in particular is going to start getting very, very sticky for him. And we're now in November. The GOP, who have obviously been part of his mouthpiece, have not done nearly as well as hoped or as planned, and he's literally having to withdraw troops. And now they're actually talking about this on Russian state TV. They're actually saying that they've withdrawn. So it shows even within Russia, maybe that balance of power is starting to change, which is definitely what your cards were picking up. And we both got the Empress card as well. So very, very interesting to see how it goes. So we just looked up Hobbs at 50.9%, Lake at 49.1. So that would suggest that Hobbs has managed to inch a little bit closer. I think as long as it's above 50%, isn't it? So issue hits 51%, then you're definitely fine. And we've got 985 with us so far. So thank you guys so much for joining us. She was on Fox News, Arizona. Let's see what other kind of comments. I'm a Scorpio. Connie B saying, I'm a Scorpio. I caught her crap right away. some kind of smooth talking. Not for me. She's so spicy, Connie B. And let's see, Foxy. Yeah, so there's more talk here. So I'll scroll through the comments. Are we ready for the next question?
Absolutely.
All right. So next one here. So that was, we did Lindsey Graham, and then number 2 was Ukraine. There was the dam blast, but I'm not going to go too much into that because the dam obviously didn't burst and the Russians have retreated. So I was going to ask, is the dam going to burst and flood? It's not happened yet, so maybe it's unlikely. Okay, my friend Dan. So I've got a friend of mine called Dan, and we always meet up for our wizardy chats and stuff like that. We talk about archetypes, what's going on in the world, everything. And while I was having a chat with him today over coffee, we like to go to this hotel called the Citizen M for our little coffees and the Ned and stuff. It's very posh. But anyway, so he got this hit, and it was unusual for him, about Taiwan and China. And what did he say? He said, something significant is happening. And I put here, Dan wants me to investigate his psychic hit. He feels something is kicking off now. Now, look, we don't see anything here in the news. Let's see what comes of it. But let's just have a read, because we've not spoken about China and Taiwan for a while, and just see what happens. Yeah, see what we get. And I'm going to use my Rider-Waite. Look at this at the base of the deck. difference. Maybe there's some balancing going on here. Let's see. So if something really kicks off between China and Taiwan, then it was my friend Dan having that hit today, but we'll see. All right, what's going on between China and Taiwan? Let me bring my camera down. We've just hit 1,000, yay! China and Taiwan. Ooh. Oh, bloody hell. Gosh. Oh, complex cards. All right. I'll go again. Right. What's going on between China and Taiwan is the question. Look at this. All right. Card I get here is it's the 9 of Wands. Now, if you look at this talks about embattlement. Yeah, this is the card of perseverance. After kind of being a little bit kind of beaten up and clubbed around the head, you can see the bandage there and stuff like that. But this is asking about Taiwan and China. So it's almost like it's suggesting, it's almost like there's been an extended argument between the two countries and both are wary, cautious. This is also the card of being wary and cautious. However, the obstacle card is the Fool. Now, this is quite interesting. We can take it literally, but what is the Fool all about? It's all about a leap of faith, initiating things, new beginnings, new starts. But it can also be an aspect of recklessness as well. Because, as you know, we were pulling on Elon Musk. Forgive this slight digression here. Since Lena's not here today, that means I'm allowed to have a digression. But you remember each time I pulled for Musk, I kept pulling the Fool, and the Fool can also be reckless action. I was watching something today where he's basically left the message saying we could go bankrupt. Can you believe it already? I don't even think it's been 2 weeks since he's been in charge of Twitter.
Oh yeah, the reading I did on him was it's going to go by the way of Truth Social.
Wow.
I got that, the time that he was negotiating, but I had already gotten it. It's going to go the way of Truth Social. It's going right straight down the tubes.
Yeah. And you know what? When the advertising revenue is not there, because I've been having a little group chat with friends, when your ad revenue is gone, because remember as well, Twitter has never really been profitable, but it's always been viable, but it's based on goodwill. Once you no longer can differentiate who has the right to have a blue tick or not, and you've got all of these wild impersonations going on, you turn it into the complete Wild West, you sack half the staff, apparently they're starting an action lawsuit against him, and you do all of this crazy stuff, and all of your advertising people pull out, you are done. I mean, that's like being dead like in a few weeks. I gave it 6 months. I think that was generous, it turns out now. And he's already saying they could go bankrupt. So I kept pulling the card for him.
Most of the higher ups quit today. The higher ups in the organization, they all quit.
Doomed.
So they're all jumping ship.
Doomed. Someone said it's like the Titanic. This
it really is.
Even though we're talking about China, but it is relevant to talk about, of course, Musk, because I got this card for him so much. And what this card represents is the danger as well of the Fool. And this has come in the obstacle position for China, in that sense of when we take reckless and foolish actions, it can lead to disaster. With Musk, if this goes tits up, which is looking like it is, he is going to have a serious reputational problem, let alone his financial problems. And it's going to be very difficult for him to raise funds. And apparently the Tesla shares, aren't looking so great. However, China is a much more sensible country than that. Yeah. This is the card of what? Caution. So they're not going to take reckless action, I don't think, with Taiwan. They understand it's a bit too dangerous. But look, we get the Four of Wands, which is about passing a milestone, yes, celebrating a milestone victory and stuff like that. I think this is Xi Jinping, yeah, because he's recently been what? Announced as leader indefinite for however long, yeah, which is a milestone. It's one of the first times it's happened in China, actually. But look, the Death card comes. Wow. Transformation. Yeah, transformation. New things are coming for China. And then the outcome card here is the 10 of Wands, which can mean feeling burdened or oppressed or having a tremendous amount of work to do. So it could be the case that the situation in Taiwan may change the Xi Jinping's perception or the way they perceive him in China now that he's reached this milestone. But there's some kind of big transformation coming. And what I suspect is when Mars goes back into sidereal Gemini, which will be in sort of like March next year, and goes over top of Xi Jinping's sun, he could find he's got a tremendous amount of work to do. So there's some big cycle happening. What do you have, Lady G?
Well, in the center of it, we have China that want to put an end to Taiwan ever since Chiang Kai-shek left. They've been at this thing, and this needs to be healed for the long term, or else it's going to be the death to something. And I also got the Four of Wands. So the leadership with his, being up there again, the narcissistic thing, dreamer, heads in the clouds about this. But on the other side, there's judgment and fire coming down on his head, with this ideation that he's going to take over Taiwan like they took over Hong Kong, you know. So we have his wanting to slice and dice, his illusions and stuff that he continues to talk about. But the message going forward is about justice rising. Okay, so people are going to rise up. I think other countries are going to rise up. They're looking at the contractual things being juggled, kind of like a little bit out of water, like a fish out of water at the moment, and finding out for new opportunities, the balance is going to be difficult. If China continues to push this, they're going to have more difficulties because we have here the victory will have obstacles because of spiritual guidance. Okay, so yeah.
Very interesting. Obstacles because of spiritual guidance. Wow. Maybe this death, because as you know, I got the death card as well. Maybe this is somehow part of China's transformation. Could it be? Look, this is what I've not been to China yet, and I've always wanted to go to China, and I feel a bit sad because of all of the extra surveillance and stuff like that. I've always wanted to go to the Hidden Palace, the walk the Great Wall of China and stuff like that. What we also need to understand about China is that it's one of the few cultures that has over 5,000 years of continuous written history. That's written, let alone the extra. It is an ancient culture. And I've always felt like with Confucius, there's always been this deep, deep spirit within the Chinese. And it's almost like, could it be that this death card is like a rebirth of the true spiritual nature of the Chinese?
Let's hope so. Let's hope that opens up and they don't continue to repress that, because China does have a lot of spiritual history to it.
It does. Yeah, it does. Wow. Okay, when Georgia does the runoff, let's see here. But people are still talking about, of course, the midterms. When Georgia does the runoff election, there will be 81,000 votes that went to the independent candidate. Those 81 votes are now up for grabs if those people choose to vote this time round. Oh, that's a very good point, Kathy. Oh, Very good point. If the independent voters go the Democratic way, then that could be a very clear margin. Thanks for sharing
Absolutely.
that.
I don't think they're going to go for Herschel Walker. Yeah. Yeah, we did read on that Warnock was going to win it, and I still think he's going to pull it out. But again, it's that same thing. Wait, these things are drifting. We got to wait until this whole thing is done.
Absolutely, because we got the cards, you know, 4 of Swords for the Democrats, waiting it out, being calm, being zen. Some say the results, you know, we won't know the results until December. So here I've got question 5 here. So we kind of, it's going back to the Arizona, but now we're going to go in with a bit more depth.
Okay.
So I put here Arizona win, question mark. We now have clarity on that. Let's see. So reports that I'm seeing, they were saying Dems 1 seat away from Senate control. Yeah. And I put here, good for Biden's agenda. If it goes through untrammeled, America will become the wonder of the world. So remember what I've been saying for quite a long time now. I think it's been at least 18 months here and there. And it's this. If Biden's rebuilding agenda is able to go through sort of basically unmolested or unblocked by the Republicans, because basically if the Dems get the Senate, then either way, Biden said he's going to use his veto. Do you remember I said Biden's going to be building his rhetoric? He's going to be speaking more forcefully, and he is. If that goes through, if it comes to pass, and I really do mean this, and this isn't just blowing air up people's butts, America will become the wonder of the world. It will. If you guys pass this, because remember, Pluto is turning lead into gold. Yes, we need to see all the ugly, all the filth in order that it be healed. But he always talks about not only about political power, energetic power. He is the planet of what? Transformation. If the green bill goes through and all of the chips, thingamajigs, and all the doodahs that they've got lined up, it will transform. America will start going green. And once America goes that route, that's it. The world would have no choice but to follow, because America will be producing its own power. It will be able to wean itself off of oil, which will then defeat the enemies of, you know, certain oil producing countries, let's put it that way, for entertainment purposes only, and onward. So it's still, there is still hope, because the GOP did not get that sweep. If they did, it would be over, yeah, and we'd be talking about Gilead. So it's still possible, but we must be patient. People mustn't get carried away and start talking about blue waves and stuff like that, because it hasn't happened. It's in the balance. So I thought I'd just say that. All right. So I'm wondering what to ask now, because we sort of, let's see what Carrie Lake is going to do if she loses. Yeah?
Okay.
What that means for the GOP. I need my more darker cards for her. It's got to be the black and white ones. What's going to happen to Carrie Lake if she loses? And what does that mean for the GOP as a whole? What does it mean if she loses? I'll bring my camera down. Carrie Lake. Oh, this lady, my gosh, she's slippery. Even just as I feel the cards, do you know what I mean? She's slippery, isn't she? So I close my eyes and they show me an eel. I see the picture of an eel. She's very cunning, very cunning. Do you know what I mean? I can't cuss her out because she's too intelligent for that. Do you know what I mean? But when I'm tuning with her energy, it's like this.
Yeah.
So I get with her. She's like that, like a dancing cobra. Well, actually, let me pull thingy bob back down so we can see what. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Of course. Oh, God. Oh, there we go. Typical. Typical. Look at the first card I get for her. The first card, you know, there. This just describes her perfectly. Even when I was touching the cards, I just felt this kind of, yeah. So here she is. She is the mistress of deception, deceit. Yeah.
Mistress of the dark, because I was getting
mistress of the dark. Honestly, she's like, because she's not stupid. We know she's clever, but this is you know, the demoness in some ways, again, for entertainment purposes only. But she, like, you know, I was talking about seduction. Remember as well, the devil is not just like, you know, corruption and stuff. The devil is also seduction. This is why so many people fall under. That's what these people here are chained. The chains are loose. They could escape at any time. The point is that they're seduced by the ideas. When we look here, look who's in the opposite position, in obstacle position. Now, this is interesting because on one level, this could mean what? The emperor, yeah, which could be talking about Donald Trump. But I think it's more than that. I think it's her personal ambition.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's wrong to be ambitious. It isn't. But I think this is someone that wants to be president. I think Carrie Lake sees this in her mind, in the depth of her cunning, as a prelude to her maybe becoming president one day. Even if she loses, I don't think she's going to give up because she's got very close. Yeah, it's a hair's breadth. No one can say that she was thrashed, and she's probably got her arguments lined up. Yeah. Next card, Six of Swords, wanting to go to smoother waters. So obviously, look, if she loses, she's got to style it out. Yeah, she's got to style it out. But it's only a hair's breadth. If, what's the name, the Democrat, sorry, forgive me for forgetting her name. If the Democrat wins, it's not going to be by a massive, massive margin. It's like, what is it, over 90% of the vote counted, something like that. So she might win by 0.5%, 1%. So even if Carrie Lake loses with that kind of mentality, she's going to use that for other things. Do you know what I mean? Because she's got the intelligence and the word play. She used to be a TV presenter, as everyone said. Here she is, Page of Pentacles here. So pages are what? All about messages, yeah? All about messages. And this, of course, she understands the most important thing is her messaging. She's also going to use that as a source of fundraising as well. Because either way, even though she's dodgy, she's shown some cunning. However, she may not like the options that she has left. Ultimately, it's the Four of Cups. So because the GOP are diminished somewhat in their victory, and she is a Trumper, she may have to reconsider her position. Who knows? She might go back to Democrat again, whichever way the wind is blowing. So I don't know. What do you have for her, Lady G?
Well, at the center of it, I have the new action. She would be out there with club in hand. And yeah, snaky, you know, another mask, whatever mask she needs to put on, the mystery, the things behind the dark that she's doing. Who knows? Maybe she's doing a little voodoo or something. I don't know. But she is going to, again, try to get them to do the Kool-Aid, okay, with her con job, you know, and what she's putting out there as light. She's right in alignment with the Trumpian family, you know, that dynamic. She thinks that's her passageway to government. Okay.
Yeah.
That is her way. And so let's see what's all underneath of it. Of course, she's looking for those that would be supportive of what? 45, and that looking for somebody that's the narcissist, you know, and she would be happy to fill that role. Okay. But we have things, you know, whatever she'd be screaming about putting an end to things and trying to hold on to the almighty dollar, getting the support in so that she could be out there with the energy. And again, be the big star, the narcissist du jour,
Ah,
the narcissist du jour, and having out there that just that uh, ramrod type thing, and talking about the same thing, the angst and things, and you're so out and being tied up, the nonsense, and just charging forward. Okay, so yeah, she would find a new chameleon thing to do, a new mask to wear, whatever it takes, she will do.
do you know the hit that I got? You know the hit I just got. I think this is just a true thing that's come through. She wants to beat Trump and the GOP at their own game. She doesn't give a damn about the GOP and what they stand for. It's just a convenient vehicle,
Exactly.
a
The
way,
mask of the moment.
exactly, a way for her to take herself to a level of prominence where she
Mm-hmm.
can be treated as a serious candidate going forward. And she's someone that may in the future may even try and run as an independent or something like that, because the whole goal of this, the download that I got, was about her positioning herself.
Mm-hmm.
She knows in her ultimate tactics that she doesn't have to win. If she won, it would be a Brucey bonus.
Yeah.
She had to run it close. That's what she had to do, and she has succeeded on that front. I'm not saying this is praise for her. I'm saying in her the twists and turns of her reptilian mind, yeah,
Yeah.
she doesn't give a damn about Duck Laurent. She doesn't give a damn about the GOP. It's about her profile, because she knows she's,
She
you know, she,
wants to be the same thing like Trump, have a cult following that she could be on a pedestal, and the cult following getting them to drink the Kool-Aid of the moment, and she'll do whatever it takes to do that. So people are asking for the Shakespeare on this one
oh,
today.
of course, my darling viewers. And we're at 1200 now, so thank you guys. Honestly, we really appreciate when you join us. There's so much choice and stuff out there, and but I love Lady G's cards and Lena's cards. It's so revealing. All right, I'll close my eyes. Tell me where to stop and what we're going to be reading. What on Carrie Lake again? What do they want Shakespeare on?
Stop. What does the bard say?
This is really interesting. Look, here it is. She is ill met by moonlight. Isn't it interesting? There, look.
That is good.
Ill met by moonlight. Let's see what it says on the other page. And that's from Midsummer Night's Dream. Let's see what else the bard has to say. Oh my God. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit. Ooh, could that be about the relationship between Carrie Lake and Trump?
Could be.
Isn't it interesting? We were talking about Carrie Lake, and it says starts with she.
Could be the GOP too.
Could be
In
the
the end.
GOP. Yes, it could be because it's. I'll read it again. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. Yeah. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit. So do you see, this relationship between Carrie Lake and the GOP is not genuine. It's fake. They're both trying to exploit each other. And even the GOP probably suspect, you know what? She's just doing it for a platform. She doesn't give a damn about us. She is ill met by moonlight. And that last bit that I read, much ado about nothing. Oh, I think that was juicy. Ready for the next question?
Yes.
Straighten my hat out. Sorry, folks, I'm a little bit skewiffed. Right, so what did we do? We've done Ukraine, Taiwan, we've done Arizona. Let's go back to, oh, Misty Rose wrote this one in. Florida gerrymandering to guarantee a win. Could we look at that? So we know DeSantis was the star. Yeah. And I was going to say poor Donald Trump. Not really poor, but let's just say Donald Trump has had done to him what he's done to many a lover in the past, which is that he's been traded in for a younger model. Let's put it that way. I don't know what's going to happen with flat tire Trump, or what's it Trump calls him, what, desanctimonious, doesn't he? I think that's hilarious. He is good with the odd zinger here and there. But the GOP are now making love music towards DeSantis. But Misty Rose is saying maybe the gerrymandering, it may not be as genuine as we think. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The card that fell out. King of Cups. Let me just shuffle a bit more. So Florida gerrymandering to guarantee. Could we look into that? So what's this energy about the gerrymandering? There we are. I'll quickly pull and then you'll be reading the Lady G. All right, Florida gerrymandering. Florida gerrymandering. Can you tell us, Spirit, Florida gerrymandering? Look at this. All right. Florida gerrymandering. Did it affect things? We look here, Major Arcana, strength, upside down. When it's the right way up, it talks about virtue, overcoming things, you know, inner strength and all that kind of stuff. Here, when it's reversed, it can refer to like bestiality, base instincts. So here, in regards to the gerrymandering, yeah, it's about base instincts here for Florida and DeSantis, not positively motivated. Here, the obstacle, or maybe just giving some further insight on that main card, Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups can be about secrets. Can talk about a creative or emotional person, or a creative or emotional woman. Can also talk about water as well. Think of also as well what's happened recently, storms and floods and all of that kind of stuff. But it also speaks about emotions as well. So if we look at this from a DeSantis perspective, he's coming from this more bestial angle. Yeah. With these kind of maybe more confused emotions, but also as well, let's not forget as well, the Queen of Cups holds secrets in that cup. So maybe more could emerge on the gerrymandering and stuff like that. We also need to talk about an abuse of power, which is obvious, yeah, which the gerrymandering would be, 5 of Swords. And look, the betrayal. I think this, look, 10 of Swords, the betrayal of the electorate. Yeah, this is a betrayal of Florida. And then the outcome card I get is the 8 of Cups in reverse. This is quite complicated. For those that are been gerrymandered, of course, they want to walk away. But this also speaks too of, it's wanting to walk away, but I think it's complicated. I do think DeSantis did win because I think he just had that momentum anyway. I was always seeing him win it. Did he win by as much? Maybe not. But I don't think it's enough yet for everyone to be walking away. Do you see it? Because you can sometimes interpret it in the opposite way. So I think some will leave, but I think he's safe for now. But there is disappointment. What do you have, Lady G?
Well, what I have in the center of it is justice and manipulating justice, manipulating it for something that he wanted to have happen. Okay. We had him going in there and taking this strong, no holds barred stance, being devoid because of this dark the dark clouds, the dark things that were happening. I have him also the Eight of Cups, walking away from the divine, walking away from God for what?
Wow.
For the MAGA crowd. Underneath of it, we have the wish for him going forward and short-term good luck. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have his cup of abominations here because he wanted to maintain his power, wanted to maintain and have the luxuries continue. We had them going forward, putting that energy forward so he could hold on. But we also have, again, karma is coming. So I think more is going to come out. Did you hear what Trump said? Trump sent the FBI and someone else down there to stop the counting of votes so that he would win.
So DeSantis would win.
So DeSantis would win. Trump said he sent the FBI, and I forget, it was someone else that he sent down to Florida, Broward, where I was living, to stop counting the votes because he would have lost if they would have kept counting the votes. So he had them stop counting the votes while he was still ahead.
So Trump has said he did that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Trump's ego has gotten so bruised that now he's saying just out and out that he committed election fraud. I sent them. You're the reason I'm in power. Yeah, he actually said that.
Wow. Because I can't remember which show I said it on. I think it was one with Lena on. And do you remember? You guys will probably remember this. But I said a while ago now, must be a few months ago, I said, Dr. Larange is such a narcissist that anyone that takes the spotlight from him, anyone, even anyone from his own party, he will undermine them just so that he can be top boss. And if he has said that, and that turns out to be true, I mean, first of all, if that is true, let's just assess the ramifications of that. If that is true, if that is true, that means the FBI would be involved in electioneering. Yeah.
Yep.
If that is true, because the FBI shouldn't be stopping counts for stuff so someone could win.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Dr. Larange, he tells so many outrageous lies that even if he does tell the truth, you can't be sure.
Exactly.
But either way, the energy is to undermine, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
let's pull one card and see, is he lying or is he telling the truth?
You're absolutely right. Let's pull a card. And can you believe it, Lady G, the hour's gone again. We'll have to do the other question.
I know. So quick.
So quick. Okay. Is Trump lying? We'll pull one card pull. Or is he telling the truth? How about that? Is he telling the truth? Oh, two cards wanted to come out. What do you have? I've got Four of Pentacles.
Yeah, wanting to get to calmer waters, moving it forward and trying to hold on, having him hold on.
Oh my God.
Oh
my. He could be telling the truth.
He's telling the truth on that.
Yeah, my card is, helping DeSantis or DeSanctimonious hold on. And you got moving to smoother waters. Oh my, I've just got goosebumps. For entertainment purposes only, guys. I think that's wow. If that is true, guys, if that is true, that is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, as Connie B's just said, for entertainment purposes only. We shall see. But remember I said, Rahu, this eclipse on voting day had Rahu and Uranus. Rahu, the shadow, is lies. Uranus is sudden shocks and surprises. Things that we didn't know. Eclipses bring things out of the dark. If Dr. Larange is telling the truth, that is epic, and it is over for DeSantis.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. Can you believe the hour has gone, everybody? So thank you, everyone, so much for joining us today. Also, as well, thank you as well for the donations as well.
Thank you.
We will be back next week. Lena will be back with us soon. But isn't that interesting? These things that come out. Thank you, everyone, for your questions and your comments and joining us. Over 1,200 of you joined us tonight. We will see you next week. And just also as well, just for Wednesday coming up, I'm going to be doing a chart dive for Tarot's Apprentice, Dave from Tarot's Apprentice. And then I think the week after that, I'll have Kevin is going to be back on my show as well. But there's going to be another chart dive like what I did with Lady G. So we will see you next week. I think I'm a bit shook.
Yeah, that was a bit. Somebody said, of course, the FBI denied it. Well, yeah, you think they're going to stand up and say, yeah, we did it? Yeah.
If that is true, because sometimes Duck Larange does tell the truth, sometimes he does tell the truth, and the cards seem to suggest that, and that's kind of the thing he would tell the truth about, because he know. Oh my God! Anyway, let's leave it there. We will see you next Saturday, and if anyone wants to tune in for Wednesdays for Tarot's Apprentice, well, I'll be looking at his chart. I'll see you then. Lots of love, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you soon. Oh, oh.